Everyone thinks they know the hierarchy of Stranger Things. Season 1, the Demogorgon, an animal hunting for blood. Season 2 and 3, the massive Mind Flayer, a cosmic horror wanting to consume worlds. Season 4, Vecna, the sorcerer pulling the strings. It seems simple. A soldier, a general, and a king. We accepted this. We moved on. But what if that entire pyramid is upside down? What if that giant shadow spider in the sky isn't a god at all? What if we have been looking at a puppet show for 4 seasons, terrified of the puppet, while ignoring the hand inside it? Tonight, on Vecna Watch, we are not just recapping history, we are rewriting it. We are going to pull on the vines connecting the monsters, the shadow, and the dimension itself, to answer the one question that changes the ending of Stranger Things. Is the Mind Flayer a god that enslaved Henry Creel? Or is the Mind Flayer just a costume, a suit that the Upside Down wears only when Henry tells it what to be? If you are ready to see the truth, step into the void with me. Who is really holding the joystick? To understand the villain, we first have to understand why we were fooled. In Season 2, the show introduced something Lovecraftian. Will Byers called it the Shadow Monster. It was huge. It was older than time. It felt incomprehensible. When Dustin compared it to the Mind Flayer from Dungeons & Dragons, we latched onto that name. An ancient, evil, interdimensional tyrant. It made sense. It pushed particles into Will, like data into a hard drive. It possessed Billy Hargrove. It melted people into meat to build a physical body. We saw a creature that wanted to colonize, to consume. So, naturally, when Season 4 introduced Vecna, we assumed he was just the 5-star general, just another servant of the shadow. But stop for a second. Look closer at the Mind Flayer's behavior. Does a cosmic cloud of dust care about revenge? Does an ancient alien entity care about high school popularity? Does a god hold a grudge against one specific teenage girl named 11? No, those aren't the emotions of a cosmic force. Those are the emotions of a human, a petty, angry human. Let's look at the hardware. In Season 4, when we finally see the origin, what do we see? Before 1979, the Upside Down was a wasteland. Rocks, storms, floating islands, raw, chaotic energy. There was no spider. There was no hive mind army marching in lockstep, just wildlife. The Demogorgons were there, but they were unorganized. Just animals. And the shadow? It was just a storm. A swirling mass of particles. Potential energy, waiting for a trigger. Think of the Upside Down not as a kingdom, but as a supercomputer. It has connectivity. If you step on a vine here, the whole network feels it there. It has the capacity to store memory, but a computer, no matter how powerful, is useless without an operating system. It needs a coder. It needs someone to give it a shape, to give it a purpose. And this is where the clues were hiding in plain sight. Remember the drawings? In Season 2, Will draws the shadow monster. But go back further. Go back to the 1950s, to Henry Creel's drawings. What did he draw? Spiders. Specifically, the Black Widow, the mother of spiders. He was obsessed with them. He admired them. He saw them as the gods of order in a chaotic world. Now, fast forward to the moment Henry falls into the Upside Down. He is burning. He is broken. But he is not dead. He looks at that swirling storm of chaotic particles, and he doesn't see a monster. He sees clay. He reaches out with his mind, the strongest psychic mind in history. and he sculpts the storm. He forces the cloud to take a shape. What shape does he choose? Does he choose a dragon? A wolf? A demon? No, he chooses the spider. The silhouette of the Mind Flayer is virtually identical to the drawing Henry made when he was 12 years old. That is not a coincidence. That is a signature. He didn't meet the spider god. He built the spider god. The Mind Flayer is not an ancient cosmic horror. It is a childhood projection, brought to life by infinite power. This explains everything. Why does the Mind Flayer hate 11? Because Henry hates 11. Why does the Mind Flayer want to fix the world? Because Henry wanted to impose his own order. The upside down is the hardware. The Mind Flayer is the user interface. And Vecna? Vecna is the user sitting at the keyboard. He isn't serving the realm. He is wearing it. So, if Vecna is the admin, why hasn't he won yet? Because he left a port open. Will Byers. For 4 seasons, we felt bad for Will. He was the victim, the spy, the vessel. When the Mind Flayer was close, Will would touch his neck. He could feel it. We thought that was just PTSD. But if the Mind Flayer is just an extension of Vecna, then Will isn't connected to a monster. He is connected to Henry. Will is a leftover access point. He is a human Wi-Fi receiver, still logged into the Vecna network. This is the key to Season 5. The final battle won't just be about shooting fireballs. It will be about hacking the network. If the party can use Will, not as a victim, but as a Trojan horse, they can reverse the signal. Instead of letting Vecna push darkness out, Will could push something in. Imagine injecting a virus into Vecna's perfect system, but not a computer virus. A virus of humanity, empathy, memories of love, the very things Henry Creel cut out of himself to become strong. It would be poison to him. So next time you see that shadow spider looming over Hawkins, remember, you aren't looking at a god. You are looking at the tantrum of a lonely boy who decided the world deserved to burn. Vecna isn't the servant. He is, and always has been, the author. But every author fears the editor. And Will Byers might just hold the red pen. Subscribe to Vecna Watch, because the clock is ticking.